In this video, we're going to talk about perfect squares and square roots. This is part of Unit 2. So the color we're using for Unit 2 is orange. Okay, first bullet. The square root of any number, the square root of a number is any number which when multiplied by itself equals the original number. So, a couple examples. We see this little symbol, that means the square root, and the number is 36. So we read this as the square root of 36. So we think what times what equals 36, and these two numbers have to match. So if we think about these two factors here, same number, we know that 6 times 6 gives us 36. So the answer to the square root of 36 is 6. Okay, read this one as the square root of 121. So we think what times what equals 121, and that would be 11 times 11. So our answer to the square root of 121 is 11. Squaring a number means raising the number to the second power. So for example, we read this as 2 squared. We think 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. This one right here, we think 15 squared is how we read that. And we don't think 15 times 2. This is 15 times 15. And 15 times 15 is 225. A perfect square is a whole number whose square root is an integer. So there are no fractions or decimals or any of that kind of thing when we're talking about perfect square. The term perfect square comes from the method for finding the area of a square. So that activity we worked on in class today, that's where that term perfect square comes from. For example, what is the area of a square with a side length of 8 centimeters? So if I have a side length of 8, there's 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drawing a little sketch here. I have a side length of 8 here, and I have a side length of 8 here. So 8 squared, 8 times 8, I have a total of 64 little boxes. So the area would be 64 centimeters squared. Okay. If they gave you what is the side length with an area of 64, your answer would be 8. So you're thinking backwards. List all of the perfect squares between 0 and 400. So in 7th grade, you are responsible for every single one of these numbers. So we can start by squaring 0. That's 0 times 0, which is 0. Squaring 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Squaring 2, which is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Squaring 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Squaring 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Squaring 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Squaring 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Squaring 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And 8 squared. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 squared. 9 times 9 is 81. 10 squared. 10 times 10 is 100. 11 squared. 11 times 11 is 121. 12 squared, 12 times 12, 144. 13 squared, 13 times 13, 169. 14 squared is 14 times 14. I'm just going to double check this one real quick. 14 times 14, it's 196. 15 squared, it's 15 times 15, it's 225. 16 squared is 16 times 16, which is 256. We're going to go all the way up to 400. 17 squared, 17 times 17, which is 289. Keep going. We've got 18 squared. We're getting closer. That's 18 times 18. Gives us 324. 19 squared. 19 times 19. It's 361. We're pretty darn close to 400. And with 20 squared, which is 20 times 20, that's going to be 400. So what I would like you to do at this point is to take a minute and fill out this section, what did I learn today? And we're going to talk about a summary for this tomorrow. So again, take a minute, summarize these notes in your own words down here in the what did I learn today section, and we'll talk about it tomorrow in class. Thanks and have a good night.